Welcome to Please Excuse this late day announcement. We are joined today by Mr. Haley. Cabrini Breen is here and the Moondog, and I remain the Prophet of Doom. Today's topic is Groundhog Day. Is it children's superstition? Does it still have a place in our society? What does it say about us and how deeply we long for a time that's not dark? Mr. Mooney, we send it to your court, O theologian. Enlighten us.
I like it. I think that it's good to have a little bit of wives' tales. It's good to have a little bit of superstition because, we're as you said, we're trying to shine a flashlight into all the dark corners of the world, and I feel like the more we do that, the less we like what we find. And I think a little bit of mystery is a good thing. And there's the objective mind that says, okay, a groundhog seeing its shadow doesn't necessarily mean anything, but the Punxsutawney is a place on the map now. It's this town that has a thing, and otherwise, you just have people going about their day, slogging through their life, who either are connected to their faith or are not connected to their faith. But I think that the more we can hold on to some of the traditions, the more we can stay true to the people we want to be, not the people that we're starting to become.
Mr. Breen, the economist speaks. What do you think? Isn't this just about selling stuff to people? Sell them hope, and they will mistake it for grace.
Last I checked, 6 weeks of winter is the same thing as a month and a half. I don't really understand.
So you're saying
Besides
they
which,
win.
this hasn't really been winter. I don't know what this has been.
This is true.
So, but it's a good movie.
Very
great
good
movie.
It's
not the best
Very
Bill
good
Murray
movie.
movie.
It's not the best
No,
Bill Murray movie,
absolutely
but that's Bill
Broken
Murray
Flowers.
is such a great underrated comic.
Good cameo in Zombieland.
Very good cameo in Zombieland.
Great cameo in Coffee and Cigarettes. If you've seen that movie, he's just off the hook with the Wu-Tang Clan. Mr. Haley.
Yeah,
the
36
question-
Chambers. I have that CD.
It's really good. The question I have is, isn't it in contrast, though, with what the church is about to do? Here's secular society saying, we can show you the light at the end of the tunnel, and here's the church saying, we're about to enter Lent. So we are actually asking kids to think about the darkness and think about where they are in that darkness, even as all of society wants to move too quickly through that period of introspection.
Maybe we want to move too quickly, but I also think it gives you the sense of hope. Either way, as the economist said, it's still 6 weeks, but I think there's hope that that change is ahead of us, and that's what we get to look forward to. Now, I got to visit Phil. I went to see him a few years back.
Oh, wow.
He didn't want to wake up though when I went to Punxsutawney, but it was a fun to visit the place I've heard about.
How old is Phil?
I'm not sure.
Do you think it's the same Phil? Is this like Lassie, where there's like another Lassie that
Have
takes
you
place?
seen Palm Wonderful presents the greatest movie ever sold?
No.
It's about product placement, and he's talking about truth in advertising. And his son's goldfish died. Morgan Spurlock is the guy who did Super Size Me. He did this movie. His son's goldfish died, and he said, he went to the pet store while his son was asleep and his wife was at home. He went and got a new goldfish, and so. How long can you keep up the ruse that it's the same goldfish? Well, that's the truth in advertising. How long can you keep people believing? And it's the same thing. It doesn't matter, objectively, again, how long does a groundhog live? I'm sure one of the biology teachers can tell us that, but we don't want to know that. We want to think that it's good old Phil, or Phil Jr., or Phil
I think we're on Philip the Third or Philip
More
the
than
Fourth.
likely. He should have a crown.
He should have
Yes.
the crown. My question is, why shadow? Why is it about a shadow? Why couldn't it be if he comes out of the hole, you get winter, he doesn't come out of the hole, you don't get winter? But it's this question of seeing your shadow. Is it metaphoric?
Could be. I mean, I think you made a good point about looking into the darkness and making that a part of your life. Without darkness, there is no light. There's no dichotomy if you only have one. And so it makes sense that you have to pay credence to it. If you just shut it out forever, then I don't feel like you're a complete person. I think that this is representative of we're trying to connect back to our roots. That I think more people are starting to see the direction we're going, and more people are starting to see that maybe that's not such a good thing. And so you have a lot of people who are trying to adopt values that like our grandparents held. More people who are trying to garden. More people who are trying to hold on to things instead of this, manufactured obsolescence and this planned obsolescence. It's something that connects us to an older time, and I think that that's absolutely wonderful.
why is winter seen as the winter of our discontent? I mean, why is it that it's the darkest, coldest period when, in fact, there are X Games to be played? There are all sorts of things, Winter X Games. There are all sorts of elements of winter that are true to Michigan's identity. Michigan and winter should be going together. What do you think, Mr. Hill?
I think it does, but with winter, you can feel it, literally. You know, you feel it in your bones, and that's why it's so, get me out of here, you know. But I think it is something maybe we can embrace a little bit more and promote those connections a little bit more. But man, whoever came up with the idea of seeing the shadow has really sold us as a nation. We're
Doesn't take much.
Yeah, everybody hears about it, you know. Everybody talks about it. Did Phil see a shadow?
That's our segment for today. I want to thank y'all for being here. Tomorrow's segment will likely be on wait, and please tune in to find out.
Ooh.
Something like that. Is that all right?
Yeah.
So again, try.
Still going?